So I think what was very important is for me to identify, what were the kinds of things I wanted to do and what were the objectives, right? So my objective was to try to stay in the US, work for a firm that was interesting, doing interesting work. First of all, my view is you should always do what you're very passionate about, right? Over 20 years ago, whether I'd be at Google, whether I'd be doing what I was doing, there was no chance that I would have been able to say that this is what I've been doing right now. I think looking back is helpful, but not very instructive. Yeah, I think at Google when we look for 4 or 5 important things, but one of them is problem-solving ability. In fact, McKinsey, my first job was at McKinsey, right? We used to give case studies, which are solving complex problems. And what's interesting about Google is we have the same approach, except the problems are even harder. So being able to solve complex problems quickly, being analytical about it, structuring problems, that's very, very important. Listening to the question and answering precisely and being brief is very important. And you also have to keep in mind the more senior the person you're interviewing with is, the less their attention span is. Listen, be brief. Look, I think it's very important to have domain expertise. If you're going to an engineering role, say in computer science, are you a very good coder, right? For instance, if you're hiring you into engineering at Google, we'll actually give you coding tests and see how good you are at solving those problems. I think the other one is really, being able to work in teams, right? Increasingly, we're in team-based environments. One, figure out what role at what company. So doing a lot of research around what exactly is the company looking for, what is the role about, I think is very, very important. And also being very realistic about what are your skills and what is required for that role. Second, look, there's a science to getting a role, right? If the role is, if your skill set is perfect for a role, then for instance at Google, right, you apply online and we screen and then we'll give you an interview. But otherwise, if it's not an exact perfect fit, then how are you going to find people who are at that company, maybe that use your networks to get referred into? I interviewed for lots of companies. I didn't get into most. It's much like everything else in life. If you fail, try again. If you fail again, try again. Just keep trying till you land it.